Welcome to another tutorial on MATLAB Tech, and in this particular tutorial we will be looking into the concept behind the MATLAB function block and where we can use this. So basically we will be getting some of the intro part, like the basic topic related to the MATLAB function block, where you can find and all those things we will be covering as an introduction, where you can use the MATLAB function block, and then we will be covering like a use case actual implementation where you can use these function block and implement a complex logic. And at the end we will be doing some analysis on the same model, whether the requirement is being implemented or not in the model. So let's get started with the same. So coming to the use cases where basically you can use it. Okay, so when your logic becomes very complex, right? It is dealing with images or it is dealing with sound processing. So at that moment, you need more processing power and more logic building. So in that case, mostly you need the complex logic to be implemented within one sample time. And that is only possible when you implement it using a MATLAB function block. And sometimes we do iterate a process, like suppose we want to process something multiple times, right? A data. Then in that case also the calculation should be done within that sample time. So the time is very critical in this case and you need to do a complex calculation. So at that moment you can use a MATLAB function. And suppose implementing a simple logic becomes very messy in case of the Simulink block diagrams, right? In Simulink, what you usually do, you create the block diagrams and you connect things. But here you just write everything in the codes, right? So with this, like it will make your program look very simple and implements a very complex logic. The another use case that you have is building the logics and exporting it to a hardware. So suppose you written your entire Simulink program and now you used a MATLAB function block. So with the help of that MATLAB function block, you can bring all the coding related practices into your function block. And when you do export that entire model, right? So you will be able to correlate whatever the generated from the function block, MATLAB function block, and then it will be more easy for you to interpret also, because similarities are a lot when you do export your code into the Simulink environment in the C form, right? Using the MATLAB functions. Now coming to the use case where we basically need to apply our MATLAB function block. So we do have a use case. So let's try to understand use case. So suppose you have a joystick and it is transmitting some signals to a robot, and the robots are running with the help of four motors in this case, right? And individual motors will have a control signal through which you can reach to the maximum speed or to the lowest speed, that is the zero for any particular motor. And this control can be done with the help of a pulse signal, right? So in this case, if the pulse signal is zero, right, then your motor will be stand still. And whenever your pulse signal is 255, then at that moment your motors will be running at very high speed, the top speed. But the problem over here is if you are giving that 255 microsecond pulse, right? In that case, there could be possibility that your motor may damage. So in that case, what basically in this particular use case we have done, we have capped everything into 200 microsecond pulse. So this is the motor side that you see. So always when you move the joystick, it should implement the logic from 0 to 200 microsecond pulse for controlling the motor. Okay, so based on this, like there could be one more possibility, right? So how you will help the motor to move clockwise and anti-clockwise, right? in one direction and just the reverse direction. So that logic also need to be implemented in this case, right? So how the motor will be able to know that, right? So coming to the joystick part, so here the values can vary based on the joystick position, right? If it is at the center, then it will be in between 500 to 524. And if it is on the forward direction, then it will be between 524 to 1023. Okay. If it is in the downward direction, then it will be from 0 to 500. Okay. But this logic also need to be taken care in our MATLAB function. Whenever we are placing this joystick at the middle, then what should happen? There should be no movement for the motor, right? The motor should not rotate because we have not given any input from our side. So this is a very complex logic to be implemented, and to solve this, we need a MATLAB function. So to deal with this, we have developed a MATLAB function with the help of a slider. So here basically what happens, the joystick is represented with the help of a slider. So the slider will vary from 0 to 1023, and based on that we will be getting this pulses. Okay, so whenever this pulse is beyond the middle, right, so beyond 100, right, then at that moment you will be rotating in the opposite direction. Consider it in the backward direction, and whenever the value is below 100 and above 0, then you are moving in the forward direction. Considering the same scenario, let's look into the model. So now the main question is like where you can find this MATLAB function block, right? So if you open your Simulink library, coming to the MATLAB user-defined block, right? So in Simulink, you will be able to find a user-defined function block sets. So that includes all these function blocks, and in that you will be able to find the MATLAB function. So you will be able to find one more type of function block or one more type of block related to MATLAB, that is MATLAB system. So in the next tutorial, we will be looking into the same, like what is MATLAB system and what is the difference between MATLAB function and MATLAB system. So this will help you to understand both the topics in a clear way. So now let's jump into the model implementation for the joystick and robotic system. So here we have the model. So what basically we have implemented over here, let's see that first, and then we will simulate this and do the analysis. So we have a constant block, which is basically linked to this slider. So whatever the value that we will give in this slider with the help of this pin, so with the help of that, you will be able to assign the values to the constant, and it will be passing through to the MATLAB function block. So this is basically a MATLAB function block which will receive the joystick in as a input and will give you the motor speed as the output. Okay. This motor speed is not exactly the speed, but it is the pulse duration or the range from 0 to 200 microsecond pulse. Okay, and the output will be the microsecond pulse. So how much microsecond pulse it is giving. Okay, and if you go inside the block, then you will be able to find the program that is similar to a MATLAB function. Okay, over here what is basically you are able to see, this is the output which you can map it to the output over here. So motor speed, this is by default taken, we have not assigned anything to this. Then coming to the input will be the joystick in. So this is the joystick in, which is the input. So as you can see, it is completely being translated into the corresponding part. So for input, it is joystick in, and for output, it is motor speed. So now the logic need to be implemented. The first logic is creating the dead zone. So where basically the motor speed should not be there. Okay, so at that moment we will be sending 0 microsecond pulse. So this is happening when the joystick position is greater than 500 and it is less than 524. Okay, so this is the mid position of the joystick, so that's why we need to give a 0 motor speed, which is basically 0 microsecond pulse. Then for the other values which you have, right, so at that moment basically what we are doing, if this condition is not there, right, then we are jumping into the else part. So this else part is implementing the motor speed. So it is just mapping whatever the joystick value that you are giving. So the maximum value of joystick can be like 1023, right? So that's why we have divided it with 1023, and if the maximum value is achieved, then in that case this factor will become 1, right? And you will be able to get 255 as the output for the motor speed. Okay, so till this point what we have done for the motor speed. So based on the joystick position we have determined what is the motor speed. Now we need to implement our safety limits, right? So what we done over here, if the value is crossing 200, right, if it is going greater than 200, that at that moment we are making the pulse as 200. So you are getting 200, suppose 1 over here, then in that case the motor speed will become 200 over here. So basically this will never get the full joystick values. So at that moment it will not burn the motor down. Okay, so this is what implemented over here, and motor speed is the output and joystick in is the input, and that is how you will be able to see this. So this is what the basic overview for the function implementation. If you go to the block again, if you just double click, you will be able to see the same function. Now let's do some analysis. Now let's do some model analysis on this particular model and try to understand how the things are working. So we will use all the safety limits and as well as the mid position of this joystick with the help of these values in the slider. So let's run it. So currently we are running on an infinite mode so that we will be able to change the values live and you will be able to see the output over here in the display block, so that what is the current microsecond pulse that is going inside the controller or the motor, that you will be able to see live. So let's click on the play button. So over here the joystick position is at 20. I think we should be able to see the values. Okay, we will see value over here like this. Okay, so yeah, as I'm changing the values, it is changing, right? You are able to see the output, and whenever I am going beyond 500, right, now I am at 372. So whenever I am going beyond 500, so yeah, so then you can see your values drop down to 0, right? So at this moment what you are able to see, there is no joystick output that is coming out. Whenever I am crossing this value of 524, then you will be able to see a change, sudden change, right? So the values are changing from 131, 32. So like this it is changing, and whenever I am crossing these 200 microsecond pulse limit, right, so at that moment it is staying as 200 microsecond pulse. So this is coming around 840, right? So yeah, so this is basically able to cap all the limits, and if I'm just dropping it again, the values are coming constant and it is changing. So whenever putting it in between, yeah, you can see it is 0, and then so this is how you can implement a very complex logic. So here we have used only one block set, but it is doing a lot of tasks in backend, and it is quite faster compared to what is being implemented in the Simulink block sets, right? Because it is using a inbuilt code and interpreting it in the C language. So this is much faster compared to the model, because model interprets and then runs. So this is faster compared to the normal Simulink model. This is the analysis. So in summary, what we learned from this particular tutorial is to like what is basically a MATLAB function block and where we can use the MATLAB function block. And along with that, we did understand what is a case study. So we used the MATLAB function block to send some microsecond pulse to the motor and the controller, which is basically with the help of this joystick movement. And we did some analysis at the end for the particular model and observed like how the values are changing based on our requirement that we have. And here we are concluding this topic. So in case you have any comment or query, please let us know in the comment section. And in case you have any suggestion, please feel free to share. We are open for both positive as well as for the negative comments. This will help us to improve our experience in creating videos for you, and will help you to learn in a more better way. So we are open to both. Feel free to share your thoughts. So have a great day ahead, and thank you and happy learning, MATLAB.